The forest shown in this film is filled with mystery and magic. Many hidden treasures are said to exist there, and countless people dream of finding them. However, discovering these treasures is far from easy. The story begins with a man who arrives in this forest in search of a legendary ancient artifact. He is accompanied by a large team of explorers. The explorer's name is Aguirre. The object they are searching for is known as the Tears of the Moon. Aguirre and his team begin their journey deep into the forest. Suddenly, the forest plants come to life and attack them. They struggle to fight back and try to escape. As a result, Aguirre and his team become badly injured. A short time later, a tribe passes through the area. The tribesmen find the explorers and see their condition. Aguirre begs them to save his men. The tribesmen decide to help and treat their injuries. However, Aguirre has selfish intentions. Instead of being grateful, he remains obsessed with finding the Tears of the Moon. He knows that the tribe belongs to this region and may have knowledge about the artifact. Because of this, he asks them for the sacred arrowhead connected to the Tears of the Moon. The tribesmen refuse to give it to him. When things do not go his way, Aguirre turns against them. He attacks the tribe and takes the arrowhead by force. As a result of his actions, Aguirre and his team are cursed. The tribal chief places a powerful curse upon them. He declares that they will wander the forest forever without finding peace. He also warns that if they cross the Amazon River, they will turn to stone. Many years pass after these events. The story then shifts to the present day. Dr. Lily and her younger brother, who also works as her assistant, are introduced. Lily's brother is giving a presentation about the Tears of the Moon. It is revealed that the Tears of the Moon is actually a rare and ancient tree. Many people have spent years searching for it. The tree is believed to possess remarkable healing properties. Its leaves can help cure serious illnesses and may lead to the creation of powerful medicines. Because of these benefits, many people are eager to find it. According to the information they have, the arrowhead is the key to locating the tree. After the presentation and meeting end, Lily heads upstairs. A princess also present in the building. The two briefly talk, but Lily is in a hurry. She quietly sneaks upstairs and discovers a large box. When she opens it, Moon. As Lily escapes with the arrowhead, the prince notices her. He quickly tries to stop her. At that moment, Lily is hanging from a ladder outside a window. The prince threatens to make her fall if she does not return the box. To save herself, Lily throws the empty box toward him and escapes. She then returns home with the arrowhead and her brother. After all, obtaining the arrowhead was their main objective. Meanwhile, the prince becomes furious when he realizes the box is empty. He immediately wants Lily and her brother to be arrested. Lily and her brother then make plans to travel into the Amazon rainforest. Their goal is to find the legendary Tears of the Moon. The scene then shifts to a guide named Frank, who works in the jungle. He earns money by taking tourists on boat tours and showing them the beauty of the forest. One day a man approaches Frank and demands the money that Frank had borrowed from him some time ago. Frank asks for more time and explains that he cannot repay the debt immediately. Since Frank is unable to return the money, the man removes the key from Frank's boat engine. The man also owns a parrot. Frank secretly notices where the key is hidden and plans to retrieve it later. At the same time, Lily arrives at the same location. She has come to ask this man about hiring a boat. The man who took Frank's engine key is well known in the area. Since Frank is standing there, Lily mistakenly assumes that he is the famous boat owner. After all, they are both at the same office. How could she know that Frank is actually someone else? A conversation begins between them. Lily asks how much money Frank would charge to take them into the jungle. Just then, the actual owner of the office arrives. He is the same man who owns the parrot. After learning the truth, Lily becomes annoyed. She immediately refuses to travel with Frank. However, Frank notices the Tears of the Moon arrowhead hanging around Lily's neck. Now he has a strong reason not to let her leave. He does everything he can to convince Lily to hire him. He even offers to take her for a lower price. He tells her that it would be a great deal for Music Her. Despite his efforts, Lily still refuses. Suddenly, an unexpected event changes everything. A leopard appears nearby and causes panic among the people. Everyone runs away in fear. Frank, however, bravely handles the situation. Lily is impressed by his courage and confidence. After witnessing this, she decides that a fearless guide like Frank is exactly what she needs. Frank manages to recover his engine. The two prepare to leave together. However, before the boat can depart, several men capture Lily. They force her into a cage and cover it. Thinking quickly, Lily unlocks the cage from the inside. She fights back, striking the men with the cage and escaping from their grip. She then makes a run for it. These men were actually sent by the prince. Their goal was to take the Tears of the Moon. Arrowhead from Lily. Lily escapes and runs across a high structure. Unfortunately, she loses her balance and falls. At that moment, Frank arrives and helps her back to her feet. He jumps into the water and tells her to follow him. Lily, however, is afraid of water because she does not know how to swim. Instead of jumping in, she uses a rope to slide across and reach the boat. Meanwhile, the prince finally catches up to them. As the boat moves away, he begins firing at it. The prince is pursuing them in a submarine. Frank skillfully maneuvers the boat and avoids the incoming shots. The prince then launches 2 torpedoes toward them. Frank quickly changes direction and successfully avoids both attacks. As a result, the prince prince's own submarine becomes stuck and is unable to continue the chase. With the danger behind them for the moment, Frank and Lily continue their journey deeper into the jungle. As night falls, they stop at a safe spot to rest. Frank catches Music some fish for Lily and her brother, and they eat them for dinner. Later that night, Frank and Lily sit on top of the boat and talk. Suddenly, Lily's brother climbs up in fear. He tells them that the same leopard is on the boat. Frank calmly replies, "Don't worry, it's my pet." Lily becomes angry after hearing this. She realizes Music that Frank staged the earlier incident to convince her to travel with him. Meanwhile, the prince is shown entering a cave with the help of a rope. Inside, he discovers Aguirre and his team. Because of the curse, they have all been turned into stone. However, the prince has a plan in mind. He knows that Aguirre and his men were cursed while trying to cross the river. The river water had come into contact with them, causing the curse to take effect. The prince pours a few drops of river water onto the stone figures. Moments later, 2 snakes emerge from Aguirre's body. These snakes act according to Aguirre's will. The prince makes them an offer. He says that a girl currently possesses the Tears of the Moon arrowhead. If they bring the arrowhead to him, he will help them obtain a part of the sacred tree. Since Aguirre and his men are trapped in stone form, they cannot search for it themselves. After hearing the offer, the snakes agree and leave to find the arrowhead. Meanwhile, Frank and his companions continue their journey. The route they are traveling through is extremely dangerous. A powerful storm suddenly strikes the area. The boat begins to shake violently and everyone fears for their lives. Ahead of them is a massive waterfall. Just before disaster strikes, Frank skillfully controls the boat. Using his experience, he safely guides everyone through the danger. Although their lives are saved, the boat suffers heavy damage during Music the Storm. Frank stops at a nearby location and gathers wood to repair it. While he is busy working, Lily discovers a hidden cabin inside the boat. There, she finds a book containing the information about the Tears of the Moon. As she reads it, she realizes that Frank has also been searching for the legendary tree. At that moment, Frank enters the cabin. Lily confronts him and says that he has been searching for the Tears of the Moon all along. She believes he brought them along because he hoped to benefit from their quest. Frank denies the accusation. He explains that if finding the tree were easy, he would have discovered it many years ago. He tells her that he has been searching for it for a very long time without success. Lily responds by saying that things are different now because she possesses the arrowhead. Suddenly, they hear a noise coming from above the boat. When they go to investigate, they discover a group of tribal warriors. The warriors quickly capture them. Frank begins speaking to them in their own language. Afterward, he tells Lily that he tried to explain that she and her brother are innocent. He hoped the tribe would release them. However, the warriors are not convinced. They continue Music discussing something among themselves. Frank then tells Lily that the tribe wants the Tears of the Moon arrowhead. According to them, if the arrowhead is handed over, they will allow everyone to leave peacefully. Lily immediately refuses. Even so, she prepares herself to face whatever happens next. She picks up a spear and prepares to defend herself. At that moment, the tribal chief speaks up. He reveals that Frank's plan has failed. Lily suddenly realizes that Frank had not been completely honest with her. She believes he was only trying to get the arrowhead. Angry and disappointed, she slaps Frank. The chief then begins explaining the locations marked on the map and the route they must follow. After hearing this, Lily tells Frank that she will continue the journey on her own. She says that she can no longer trust him. Frank tries to reason with her. He reminds her that she is traveling through a dangerous jungle, with only her younger brother by her side. He asks how she plans to reach the destination without his help. Lily admits that his point makes sense, but she remains upset. Before she can leave, Aguirre and his companions suddenly arrive. Their appearance is strange and unsettling. The same snakes can be seen emerging from Aguirre's mouth. Many insects crawl across the bodies of his companions. They carry spears and move toward the group. A fight quickly breaks out. Frank steps forward and confronts them. Aguirre's main goal is to take the arrowhead hanging around Lily's neck. No one knows how far he is willing to go to obtain it. During the chaos, one of the tribesmen carries Lily away to keep her safe. The battle continues as warriors and attackers clash all around them. At one point, a man manages to snatch the arrowhead from Lily. He immediately throws it to another person. Eventually, the arrowhead reaches Aguirre. Seeing this, Frank rushes toward him. A fierce struggle begins between the two. Aguirre fights back while the snakes under his control attack as well. After an intense battle, Frank manages to take the arrowhead away from Aguirre. However, in the middle of the fight, Aguirre strikes him with a spear. The blow causes Frank to collapse. Before losing consciousness, he throws the arrowhead back to Lily. She catches it and feels deeply saddened. She believes Frank risked his life to protect them. After the battle, the tribal chief speaks to Lily. He explains that Aguirre and his companions cannot cross the river. The curse prevents them from going beyond that point. That is why they turned back after becoming trapped by the curse long ago. Following the chief's advice, Lily and her brother cross the river. They say goodbye to the tribe and continue their journey. As expected, Aguirre and his companions do not dare follow them. The next morning, Lily continues through the jungle. While walking, she discovers Frank's body. At first, the sight frightens her. However, after taking a closer look, she realizes that he is still alive. The spear remains lodged near his heart. Frank tells her not to worry. He explains that he cannot die in the normal way. He then reveals a shocking truth. Frank is also affected by the same curse. For nearly 400 years, he has been trapped in a cycle of injury, survival, and endless life. Lily carefully pulls the spear out of his chest. Her younger brother is so shocked by the sight that he nearly faints. After recovering from the surprise, Lily and Frank decide to continue searching for the tears of the moon together. The tribal chief had told Lily that the tree becomes active during a lunar eclipse. Once that time passes, its special power fades away. Because of this, they must reach it as quickly as possible. To keep him safe, Lily leaves her brother with the tribe. She believes he will be more secure there, as the journey continues. Frank finally tells Lily the truth about his past. He reveals that he was once a member of Aguirre's expedition. They had originally searched for the tears of the moon because Aguirre's daughter was suffering from a serious illness. Then Frank explains that Aguirre originally wanted to obtain a flower from the sacred tree. He hoped it would help save his daughter. When the tribe's people music refused to give him the arrowhead, Aguirre became furious. As a result, he destroyed the tribe and brought the curse upon everyone involved. Frank reveals that he was the one who guided Aguirre and his men toward the river. While trying to escape, they became trapped and were transformed by the curse. Unlike the others, Frank survived and remained alive for centuries. Along the way, he encounters the tribe's people. Lily's brother is with them at the time. The prince captures him and demands to know his sister's location. Out of fear, Lily's brother tells him everything. The prince immediately heads toward the destination. At the same time, Frank and Lily arrive near the location of the tears of the moon. Frank jumps into the water to investigate. He discovers that the mechanism connected to the arrowhead is hidden underwater. After returning, he explains the situation to Lily. He tells her that they will have to dive beneath the surface. Lily is nervous because of her fear of water. Even so, Frank encourages her and helps her go underwater. Together, they search for the hidden entrance. Lily begins unlocking the mechanism with the arrowhead. However, another door becomes stuck when her foot accidentally presses a stone. Meanwhile, the prince is getting closer. Lily struggles to hold her breath and becomes overwhelmed. Frank helps her recover and keeps her calm. Soon a group of fish appears nearby. Frank swims among them to draw their attention away from Lily. Despite nearly losing consciousness, Lily continues trying to open the mechanism. Finally, she succeeds. The door unlocks and the water begins rushing through the opening. As the water drains away, a hidden passage is revealed. Frank and Lily recover and continue forward. Before they can fully explore the hidden area, the prince arrives in his submarine. Lily's brother is still being held captive. The prince points a gun at him and threatens Lily. He demands that she hand over the arrowhead. To protect her brother, Lily reluctantly gives it to him. Afterward, they all enter the hidden chamber together. Inside, they finally discover the ancient tree. However, it appears dark, lifeless, and withered. The tree should have been blooming, but it is not. They soon realize that the arrowhead may be the key to activating it. The prince turns to Frank. Since Frank has spent centuries searching for the tree, the prince assumes he knows how the mechanism works. He orders Frank to place the arrowhead where it belongs. Frank agrees, but only on one condition. He says that he wants the curse to be removed. After centuries of endless life, he finally wants peace. Hearing this, Lily becomes emotional. Over the course of their journey, she has grown attached to Frank. The thought of losing him deeply upsets her. Frank examines the area, but cannot immediately determine where the arrowhead fits. He asks Lily for help. Lily agrees, but she also makes a request. She says that she needs one of the tree's flowers. The prince refuses. He insists that there may only be a single flower available. According to him, everyone must decide who deserves it most. Frank then looks at Lily and speaks to her quietly. He tells her to place the arrowhead into the mechanism. Music. He also encourages her to keep the flower if it appears. As for himself, he asks only for freedom from the curse when everything is over. Frank explains that he no longer wants to remain trapped in the world. After centuries of suffering, he simply wants to rest in peace. Lily understands his feelings and agrees to help him. Together, they try to place the arrowhead into the mechanism. However, it does not fit anywhere. They then remember something the tribal chief had told them. He had mentioned that the true key was the heart of the snake, hidden inside the arrowhead. They break the arrowhead apart. Inside, they discover a glowing red gem. Realizing that this is the true key, they place it into a carved section of the tree. The ancient tree immediately begins to glow. Beautiful pink flowers start blooming all over its branches. The prince becomes desperate when he sees this. Before he can take all the flowers for himself, Frank attacks his men. He fights them fiercely and creates enough chaos to distract everyone. Taking advantage of the situation, Lily begins climbing the tree. However, there is very little time left before the blood moon ends. As Lily reaches higher, the flowers begin to wilt. Just as she reaches for one, it turns to ash and disappears. Fortunately, she manages to save a small remaining piece of a flower. The prince shouts from below and demands that she give it to him. Instead, Lily throws the flower down to Frank. Frank successfully catches it. Seeing this, both the prince and Aguirre become furious. They realize that their final opportunity is slipping away. Now they are determined to stop Lily and Frank at any cost. To protect Lily, Frank draws their attention toward himself. Holding the flower, he leads them away from her. He quickly escapes using his music boat. Meanwhile, a massive rock falls onto the prince. The impact kills him instantly before he can continue the chase. Aguirre, however, refuses to give up. Filled with rage, he continues pursuing Frank and the boat. At the same time, Lily discovers a flower wrapped in cloth. It is the same flower Frank secretly gave to her brother earlier. Lily becomes deeply emotional. She realizes that Frank risked everything to protect them and make sure they receive the flower. Soon afterward, Frank's boat crashes into an obstacle. At that moment, the surrounding trees come to life. It is the same cursed area where people had previously been turned to stone. The living trees trap everyone in their grasp. Before long, Frank and the others become immobilized. When Lily arrives, she sees Frank trapped and motionless. The sight fills her with sadness. She gently touches his face, hoping for a response. Nothing happens. Determined not to give up, she takes the flower she worked so hard to obtain. She places it into Frank's mouth. For a moment, it seems as though nothing has changed. The flower disappears and Frank remains still. Heartbroken, Lily begins to leave with her brother. The leopard also sits quietly nearby, appearing sad and defeated. As Lily and her brother walk away, they suddenly hear the leopard make a sound. A spark of hope returns to Lily. She quickly rushes back to check on Frank. To her relief, he has awakened. For the first time in centuries, he is truly alive. His body is even bleeding normally, proving that the curse has finally been broken. Overjoyed, Lily embraces him. Her younger brother is equally excited. The leopard happily joins them. Together, the four of them prepare to leave the jungle behind. Before departing, they notice that one final flower still remains on the tree. Lily carefully takes it with her. After returning home, she uses the flower to create powerful medicines. These medicines become widely known for their benefits. As a result, Lily and her brother gain recognition around the world. In the final scenes, Lily helps Frank adapt to modern life. She teaches him how to drive and navigate the changing world around him. The leopard rides along with them in the backseat of the car. Together, they enjoy their new life while driving through the streets of London. The story comes to an end on this cheerful and heartwarming moment. This was the adventure film Jungle Cruise.